Alert! If you or your loved one is suffering from any, and I mean any illness, chronic or acute, especially if you've been told it is incurable, then this is the most important message you will hear today. Well-respected doctors have been attacked, threatened with losing their licenses, and even jailed for sharing the information you are about to hear. I urge you to stay until the end because this presentation may be taken down any time.
Hi, I'm Kevin, and this is a cute little guppy in a fishbowl. And in a matter of minutes, you'll discover why this cute little guppy in a fishbowl holds the secret to living the rest of your life free from disease, illness, or infection. Believe it or not, this odd little picture of a guppy in a fishbowl is the answer to achieving limitless health and curing all disease. By watching this presentation until the very end, you will also discover how to rid yourself of any ailment or disease you or a loved one is suffering from right now, even the most severe and incurable ones that doctors have turned their back on, and become completely disease-free for the rest of your life. And yes, I mean it when I say any illness, infection, or disease. This cute little guppy will also help reveal the only cause of death and disease, and why you must avoid this at all costs. Note, this is not what you think. Even medical practitioners don't always know this, and it can ruin your chances of a complete healing. Warning, I may be forced by the powers that be to take this free video down. If you come back tomorrow and this presentation is no longer free, don't say I didn't warn you, so watch this right now while you still can. Remember, I'm about to share a health secret that has been proven to cure, if not provide desperately needed relief to any and all disease, illness, or ailment, and even more little-known therapies to prevent any illness from returning. You know, even though this may sound impossible right now, after you watch this video and do what it says, like thousands of deeply grateful people have before you, your doctor, friends, and family will be shocked at the staggering recovery your body goes through almost overnight. How suddenly even tumors and cancer cells can begin to melt away, and how people with asthma can suddenly feel like they're taking their first deep breath in decades. How clogged and hardened arteries suddenly become clean and smooth as Teflon and as toned as an athlete's. And that's just to name a few incredible results. I'm going to teach you the secret in just a second, but before I do, I need to talk to you about the big medical lie that's keeping you, your family, or dear friends from being free from needless suffering now. And I think you'll see why I feel a sense of duty to share it with you. It can mean the difference between the life and death of someone you love. So please brace yourself and stay with me. What's the big lie that's keeping you from healing virtually any disease or illness without the horrible and even devastating side effects? The big lie is that a cure for the most fatal diseases today can only be treated with medical drugs and surgery, and that any natural cure doesn't exist. As I'm about to prove to you in just a minute, how a natural, inexpensive, non-chemical cure does in fact exist. The truth is, your body already has the power to kill any harmful germ, virus, bacteria, or dysfunction. And anyone can release this miraculous healing power for themselves, naturally and easily, which is what your body already wants to do, by following a few easy steps. I know this sounds hard to believe, so let me explain. Look, if you're like most folks I've helped over the years, every illness you've ever been through has probably followed a variation of this really depressing timeline. When you were younger, you would maybe get a cold or even the flu, but you would recover like it was nothing. You were invincible. You had all this great energy and you never gave it a second thought. Then you got older and started noticing more aches and pains, right? Maybe you developed arthritis, or you noticed more people you know developing cancer, or even tragically dying from cancer. You start seeing peers and colleagues developing blood sugar problems or diabetes. And when you or the people you love go to the doctor to get help, it seems the only solution is to take one drug or another. And when you learn about the side effects and the cost of medication, you wonder what is worse, getting medical attention or being broke and miserable. Suddenly, it's like all your options for a healthy and vibrant life are gone. You feel you either have to live with it or live in fear of it getting worse. I've talked to dozens of clients about this, and over again we hit the same pattern. As soon as you reach a certain age, it's like a switch goes off in your body. It suddenly starts to take longer to recover. And really well-meaning people suddenly get repeatedly told, eat more vegetables and exercise more. Yeah, right. Even worse, you're told, we need to start you on this medication, or we need to schedule you for surgery. Or even worse, they hear these bone-chilling words, there is no cure. The medical merry-go-round is a horrible place where you only get a new medication when the side effects of the old one become unbearable, or when your body becomes immune to the one you've been taking. That may or may not sound familiar to you, but if it does, believe me, my friend, you certainly aren't alone. Most adults today are stuck in that situation. Okay, Now for the big question you've probably asked yourself again and again, while you or someone you care about is wincing in pain. Isn't there a better way? Why does it seem that every medical solution seems to involve managing your illness rather than curing it? While any mention of a full and complete cure is always regarded as a long shot, even though we have the most advanced technology in history. And then there's the even bigger question. Why do some people, and even entire cultures, seem to be immune and completely free from fatal diseases we are dying from every day? Diseases like heart disease, stroke, cancer, diabetes, clogged arteries, AIDS, arthritis, emphysema, Alzheimer's, depression, the list goes on. They seem to live full, energetic, and even athletic lives, even into their 60s, while the rest of us feel like we lost a genetic lottery. After years of research and studying thousands of medical case studies dating back to the 1800s, I figured out one simple fact that, once you accept it, will allow you to reverse any illness and disease-proof your body. What's the big secret? Okay, this is going to sound unbelievable to you. It certainly sounded unbelievable to me when I was going through the hundreds of case studies of healing miracles. And it was still unbelievable when I personally saw it cure illnesses doctors said were incurable. Look, the reason why some people and cultures manage to live their entire lives without debilitating illnesses, while so many others don't, has nothing to do with their genes or with how many veggies they eat. And it certainly doesn't have anything to do with the level of medical technology they had. Sure, there were a few extreme cases I've seen and read about, like being on the verge of death, that took longer to fully recover back to living a full, even athletic life again. But almost all medical case studies revealed that the reason why any disease heals was because of one particular nutrient they had more of. It's a nutrient the rest of us don't have enough of. What's the secret nutrient? It's going to sound deceptively simple, but here it is. The reason why you or the people you love aren't healing from a debilitating illness isn't because you don't have the right drug. It's because you or your loved ones don't have enough oxygen in your cells. To say it another way, if you're like 99.99% of people suffering today, you don't know how to get oxygen into your cells so it can neutralize any bacteria, virus, cancer cell, kills them, and pull them out of your body. I know this sounds crazy, but it is the cold, hard truth. You see, there's actually a right way to get oxygen into the cells of your body that some people naturally do, while the rest of us are forced to suffer. Incredible, isn't it? Every documented case study of a dramatic healing I studied, and every client I taught this therapy to, the story was the same. There were little things some people did that turned their bodies into impenetrable fortresses when it came against illness and disease. And there were big mistakes most people like us make without even realizing it, that have their bodies begging to be infected. Plain and simple, the big secret to getting any illness, including cancer, AIDS, clogged arteries, arthritis, diabetes, Alzheimer's, yeast infections, completely reversed, is to learn how to oxygenate your cells in a way that makes it impossible for bacteria, cancer, or any virus to live, and to create an almost miraculous recovery and immunity to any disease, much less the diseases that are killing us in record numbers today. Did you know back in the 50s the number one cause of death was accidents? Things like car crashes, acts of God, or completely uncontrollable events? But today, heart disease and stroke are the number one preventable cause of death. Now, a healthy man or woman can be happily playing with his or her child in a playground and without warning suddenly be attacked by a blinding heart attack, gasping to breathe as the world turns black. At best, they are treated in time, but sadly, many live the rest of their life with brain damage, unable to walk or move because of permanent paralysis, or worse, death. Then, after heart disease, the other greatest cause of death today is cancer, then diabetes. It is staggering and, well, just plain sad that we will leave our family helpless and alone because of a disease that could have been easily cured. Not to mention the devastating costs of medical treatment they are burdened with long after you are gone. Yet, as I said just now, there are individuals and even entire cultures that seem to escape this fate. Also, there are many countries outside the U.S. that encourage this specific therapy to cure these lethal, debilitating, and devastating illnesses. There are two facts about all healing I will share with you right now that will change everything you've heard about curing disease. What I'm about to tell you will fly in the face of all the things you've grown up hearing, so hold tight. But before I get into those two healing facts, there is something you need to know right now. The fact that you have not been told you can easily flush illness out of your body in a way that doesn't involve any unwanted side effects, toxic drugs, and high medical or insurance costs. The fact that you were unaware Big Pharma and the medical establishment make billions, keeping you in the dark, ignorant and suffering, enslaved to their management of a disease, which still have a pathetically low success rate. The fact that though a simple natural cure has existed, not just for years, not just for decades, but for over 100 years with medically documented case studies, but has been suppressed and hidden from you. What you need to know is, it is not your fault. But the fact remains, diseases and illnesses, even the ones the medical establishment and big pharmaceutical companies want you to believe are incurable, can be cured. And it can be done without any need for drugs or surgery, and without the need for painful side effects. Let me explain. Imagine that cute little guppy you saw in the beginning of this presentation. Like all fish, it breathes water into its gills and takes the oxygen out of the water inside its body. But what if the water was polluted? What if it was filled with deadly or harmful bacteria? What if it had chemicals that cause cancer? What if it had viruses? They would go right into the little guppy, right? So just curing the guppy is not enough. We need to clear the water. You see, the guppy is like your organs and cells, and the water in the fishbowl is your blood and fluids that surround your cells and organs. The goal is to clean the water and fluids around your cells and organs of harmful invaders that feed off your body. And we need to do it in such a way that we don't harm your healthy cells. I really hope this is making sense to you. Now, here's where the penny really drops. You see, the fact is that most disease-causing germs cannot live in an oxygen-rich environment. Wherever you have high levels of oxygen in your body, harmful bacteria and viruses are killed. At the same time, healthy cells survive and multiply more rapidly, resulting in a dramatic boost to your immune system. Not only does oxygen destroy many disease-causing bacteria and viruses, it also destroys anything that could be potentially harmful to your body. Even radiation from simple X-rays or UV rays from the sun. It's all in the matter of how you use it. You know all of those laundry detergents or cleaning products that are called Oxy this or Oxy that? It's called that because they have the cleaning power of oxygen. Think of oxygen therapy the same way. It enters your body and, like a heat-seeking missile, travels through your body, finds disease and infection, kills them, and clears them out of your body. In fact, oxygen therapies have been shown to stimulate white blood cell production, which turns your immune system into a powerhouse, ready and equipped to destroy any enemy harmful germ, virus, or bacteria once it enters your body. Break down man-made chemicals, poisons, and other toxins that have entered your body. Increases the efficiency of antioxidants, so you can slow down the aging process and prevent the breakdown of collagen, which melts wrinkles off your skin and keeps it as firm and youthful as a child. And destroy all forms of cancer cells by increasing the production of something called interferon. It's the main chemical your body creates to fight cancer cells and stop them from multiplying. I think you get the idea. It's like the holy grail as far as healing is concerned. Long before antibiotics were ever used, many different forms of oxygen therapy were used medicinally to treat disease. Even the website of the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute describes oxygen therapy as a treatment that provides you with extra oxygen, a gas that your body needs to work well. The site goes on to say that oxygen is considered a medicine, so your doctor must prescribe it, that oxygen therapy helps many people function better and be more active, that it also may help decrease shortness of breath and tiredness, improve sleep in some people who have sleep-related breathing disorders, and increase the lifespan of some people who have COPD. Then it goes on to list the various conditions that oxygen therapy has been proven to treat, such as severe pneumonia, severe asthma, respiratory distress syndrome, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, late-stage heart failure, cystic fibrosis, sleep apnea. In 1931, a man named Dr. Otto Warburg won the Nobel Prize for work proving cancer is caused by a lack of oxygen in the cells. He states in his book, The Prime Cause and Prevention of Cancer, that the cause of cancer is no longer a mystery. We know it occurs whenever any cell is denied 60% of its oxygen requirements. That was back in 1931. But documentation and proof of oxygen therapy curing virtually every disease we know of goes back to the late 1800s. So that begs the question, why isn't oxygen therapy a part of our everyday lives if it is such a miracle cure? The answer is simple. It is not profitable. Look, there is a very good reason why the powers that be are trying so hard to direct you away from using readily available, abundant, and inexpensive forms of oxygen therapy. In fact, in the 1960s, the pioneering and courageous Dr. Robert Atkins of Atkins Diet fame temporarily lost his license after he publicly reported that he had completely cured, a woman's breast cancer by injecting the tumor with a form of oxygen. Then the public rallied and forced the New York State Medical Board to reinstate his license. But they did so only on the condition that Dr. Atkins agreed to stop using or publicly encourage the use of oxygen therapy. Just imagine what would happen to large for-profit hospitals, drug companies, and insurance companies if a simple and inexpensive cure was discovered for that list of ailments ranging from AIDS and the Big C to the common cold. How many drug makers and insurance companies would lose their profits if millions of people were suddenly cured of most disease? Do you think for one second that this industry really wants a cure to be found? No. They want new, expensive, and prolonged treatments to be developed. Cures kill repeat business, and where is the profit in that? And what about the media outlets that get billions of dollars in ad revenue, especially since the deregulation that has allowed direct-to-consumer advertising of prescription medications with that long list of horrific side effects whispered at the end of each ad? What about the politicians that passed these laws? Do you think that they want to lose their wealthy donors? Donors like the big pharma lobbyists who put them in office? No one in the medical establishment has any financial incentive to cure you. Now look, this doesn't mean the individual doctors are evil, greedy people. It just means the system is flawed. You see, the system itself is a cancer, and it is feeding off our illness. Its only incentive is to keep you ill, so testing, treatment, and profits can continue forever. Yet many people the world over have been helped and yes, even cured by these simple therapies. The reason why these simple therapies I'm sharing with you are so powerful lies in one singular fact. Disease and oxygen cannot be in the same space in your body. Just like you, I wondered, how is oxygen not getting into my cells when I breathe all day long? Well, here's the second fact about using oxygen to heal any illness. It's not enough that oxygen gets into your lungs. Oxygen needs to get inside your cells in order to get rid of disease. When it is inside your cells, any invading germ, bacteria, or virus is killed, and your cells are strengthened from the inside. When oxygen levels in your cells drop too low, your infected cells become too weak to fight an invader. That is where it breaks down. That is why all of us who breathe all day still get sick. Now, this is important for you to know. You see, when a drug or any form of medical treatment like radiation or surgery is used, it can kill the harmful invader that is making you sick, but it does not, I repeat, it does not heal the cell. Like a nuclear bomb explosion, drugs obliterate all the harmful bacteria, viruses, or germs in one blast. But here's the thing, most of these so-called medical treatments kill healthy cells, together with the bacteria, germ, or virus. Imagine the military trying to take out Osama bin Laden by igniting a nuclear warhead on top of his home. Yes, they would have killed him, but it would have killed the entire city as well. That is what current treatment is like. That's what happens in your body when foreign, unnatural chemicals, radiation, or even chemotherapy is used to kill a disease-causing organism in your body. It destroys healthy cells as well. That, my friend, is why people experience side effects from so many of the medical treatments today. The side effects you feel are you experiencing the death of healthy cells. The truth behind curing any illness comes from getting oxygen inside your cells and strengthening healthy cells at the same time. How do you actually do that? Great question. Now, here's the real answer. Like I said, my name is Kevin Richardson, and with your permission, I'd like to share with you the power of oxygen therapy and how to flood oxygen into your cells and become disease-free. When you master this simple concept, you'll be astonished that something so simple can do so much, if you know how. And I also want to show you how and why your body is already a powerful healing machine, and how to wake up its natural disease-fighting ability, giving you rapid energy and well-being moments after using it. I'd like to show you the readily available oxygen therapy treatments you can start as early as tonight, one of which just costs you less than 2 cents a day. And it can cure almost any illness you can think of. Yes, I know it sounds incredible, but it's true. I want to show you how you can self-apply this simple therapy at home in 1 minute. This includes the exact protocol and sources where you can obtain a natural oxygenating substance, which is the cornerstone of this therapy. I want to show you the easy way to make sure your body's cells are open and ready to receive and utilize the oxygen from the bloodstream. This is crucial because disease prevention and eradication depends on the cells being infused with oxygen. I also want to show you the powerful and life-changing stories of other regular people like you and me who have faced the most dire and even fatal illnesses and turned it around using the simple home-based therapies you will have in your hands. But most of all, I want to share with you all the incredibly simple methods for applying oxygen therapy in your own home without having to travel to a specialist, without having to pay for expensive treatments, and without having to haggle with insurance, yet is so effective you can begin to see and feel your illness vanish before your eyes. How? By introducing you to a simple, easy-to-use system called the Miracle Cure. The Miracle Cure is a simple program that teaches you how to use oxygen therapy, so you don't just have to manage an illness you or your loved ones are suffering from, but actually reverse minor and life-threatening diseases like heart disease, clogged arteries, tumor growth, the flu, arthritis, Alzheimer's, asthma, and even cancer. First, you'll get the Miracle Cure step-by-step training manual, your complete guidebook to eradicate disease naturally and without any side effects. The first thing you'll learn in the manual are the different kinds of oxygen therapy you can start today so you can begin your road to dominant health or help someone you care about end the suffering they are enduring right now. Next, I'll show you which oxygen therapy is best for the ailment you want to heal and how to maintain an almost superhuman immune system for you, your family, your children, or anyone you don't want to see suffer for the rest of your life. If you have an illness you've been told is incurable, one where you supposedly have no other option than to manage the symptoms, don't worry. You're also going to see in the miracle cure how to get virtually instant relief, if not a complete reversal. Remember, the oxygen therapies you will have access to have been proven to cure the most incurable illnesses to date, like the HIV virus and practically all forms of cancer. When you use these techniques properly, you'll be shocked as you see physical reactions that prove the virus, bacteria, or toxin is leaving the body, even if you've tried every therapy out there. Next, we'll get to the main event. Here, we're moving to the simple home treatments you can apply to yourself, so you don't have to worry about fighting to have insurance to pay for more expensive treatments that require travel. In this section, you'll learn an exact regimen you can follow that thousands have followed before you to bathe all your cells with a life-giving oxygen 24 hours a day, even as you sleep, and how to use your maintenance routine once your illness is vaporized out of your body. If you've always wanted to cure a condition that affects your appearance, like a skin problem, maybe, acne, eczema, psoriasis, or even rashes, or even premature aging, when you activate the oxygen pump mechanism of your cells, you can destroy the free radicals that rip apart the skin-tightening collagen that keeps skin clear, smooth, tight, elastic, and wrinkle-free. Friends will ask what you are doing to create skin that glows. And now, when you run out of a shelf full of skincare products, you won't have to spend any more money to replace them. You can say goodbye to that 30-minute morning routine you were a slave to. Now you will be able to go outside your house without makeup and never have to worry. And you'll discover exactly what kind of foods you can add to your diet to boost the oxygenating effect of your therapy. It's like taking a Formula One race car and putting space shuttle fuel into its gas tank. Here's my promise to you. When you follow the system and put it into action, you'll be astounded by the results. You'll stare and wonder at the reflection you see in the mirror, or when you look at a lab test that shows you are free of the illness you were suffering from, or when your doctor stands there baffled, scratching his head saying, "This is not possible. You're not supposed to be cured." Then humbly asking, "How did you do it?" Now listen to this. J.O. was a 67-year-old man with severe blockages of the arteries to his legs and extensive blockages of the vessels to his heart. He had suffered bypass operations on both legs and quadruple bypass on his heart. This was a terminally ill man ravaged with completely clogged arteries. All of his tissues were choking to death, literally starving for oxygen. His surgeons offered J.O. little hope. He had gangrene, a rotting of tissue due to lack of oxygen, and the surgeon said an amputation of his left leg below the knee was necessary. If he refused the surgery, they would have to operate later and take off the entire leg. Basically, a fix it now or pay more later kind of choice. J.O. was willing to try anything within reason to save his leg. J.O. agreed to try daily oxygen therapy. In just 24 hours after the first treatment, his pain had decreased, and by the fourth session, it had almost disappeared entirely. With repeated oxygen treatments, the kind you will have access to in the miracle cure, the gangrenous tissue cleared rapidly. He soon put his crutches away. There was a man north of Minneapolis, Minnesota that had a stroke in July of '84. The doctors opened up some arteries that were 190% blocked. They put him on some medicine and said, "Get your house in order." He was sleeping 19 hours a day. I referred him to a man not far from him who told him what a certain type of oxygen therapy did for him. He told him to do it properly, and he would have him back to work in 2 months. He actually went back to work in 70 days. Then in October, his daughter got married, and he redecorated the house. Those who attended the wedding said he never missed a dance or the opportunity to kiss the young girls. In August 1986, the doctor gave him a physical like he had never received a physical before and declared him as physically fit as a 22-year-old. For people suffering from clogged arteries and have access to the miracle cure, it's a choice between having your ribcage ripped open or using a home therapy for pennies with undeniable relief on the first day. One 60-year-old patient could not even get out of bed in the morning. He was so racked with aches and pains. He took to laying his mattress on the floor so he could roll out of bed and lie on the floor for a while before he had the strength to rise to his feet. After a couple of weeks of using the one type of oxygen therapy at home, just a few times a day, he was able to leap out of bed. In addition to no longer being plagued by his usual aches and pains, he found he was hardly ever troubled by colds, flu, or other ailments. John from Birmingham, Alabama wrote, I'm just trying to help in any way I can, because no one should have to go through what I went through, numbing devastation and fear. If this helps you, please spread the word. I'm still shocked it worked, and it took only a week. How it is possible that people don't know about this is beyond me. Here's another person's story. Over the period of 2 years, 2 cancerous growths appeared on my nose. One of them was growing very slow, the other one faster. Then in less than a year, another one appeared on my face as well, on the other side of my nose, very close to my eye. That one was growing at an alarming rate. All those growths hurt with unusual intensity when touched and had tiny veins, but they were not moles. They were kind of the color of my skin, except more red, and at times really red. I was getting worried and felt helpless. I begged God to help me and I searched a lot. I was getting so worried by that point because the spot close to my eye was growing even faster. And by then it was about 5 millimeters in diameter, and just a few months ago it was a tiny spot. I was so desperate, my eyes watered every time I looked at the spots on my face. After using one of the techniques in the miracle cure, he wrote, "The cancerous growth after a while formed a crust much like what happens in a normal sore. The strangest thing is I see no scars. It flattened out like it was never there, in a week. Even the fastest growing one. I'm still in shock. I tried so many things. Thank God. Thank God." Here's another story. 2 parents dropped everything and flew to Florida for 11 days to try oxygen therapy for their dear children. They both have daughters with cerebral palsy, 9-year-old Kaylee with severe cerebral palsy and 7-year-old Danielle with mild cerebral palsy with ability to walk. Both reported immediate dramatic improvement. Kaylee was relaxed and more flexible, and for the first time in 4 years could lie on her stomach. Laura was able to walk much better. In a few minutes, I'll read more stories and testimonials to you, but the most important story I need is yours. Just by itself, the Miracle Cure Manual will change your life forever. Even people who didn't consider themselves sick or diseased saw immediate mental focus, calmness, energy, endurance, and well-being. But because I want to give you an unfair advantage over the medical and insurance system and help you have the kind of full, exciting life you deserve, I'm also going to include the oxygen diet. You should pay attention because this is truly groundbreaking. When I was researching the Miracle Cure, I researched dozens of foods and ingredients and newly discovered superfoods and discovered the secrets to adding oxygen to your cells through food, what cultures and societies with the least illnesses eat every day, and compiled it into this bonus. These recipes are easy and yes, delicious recipes that clean your blood, clean the fluids in your body, and make it even easier for oxygen to enter your cells. Imagine slurping a rich, sweet, cold chocolate shake or frappuccino for breakfast. Well, you can have it anytime you want. But this one is made of foods that are oxygen-rich, full of antioxidants, full of protein, and most importantly, full of deliciousness. Most people, and even health experts who read this, are shocked at the information I discovered. When you grab your copy of the Miracle Cure today, you'll get the oxygen diet completely free. Okay, so how do you get started? How much am I releasing the Miracle Cure Manual plus my groundbreaking oxygen diet? Honestly, this is the only program like this in existence, so there's nothing to compare it to. So let me just ask you a question. How much is it worth to you to protect yourself and the people you love from the top causes of death today? To have the secret code that makes your body the kind that allows you and your loved ones to reap all the joy life has to offer and avoid spending the last decades of your life crippled and dependent on drugs and medication. How much would you pay to have the problem of illness solved forever, to be able to provide for your family, your wife or husband, your children, without fear of illness? If you're like all the others who bought this, you'd pay a lot. Well, I got some really good news for you. The regular price of Miracle Cure is just $97, which every person who's actually used the program tells me is a total steal. Why? Just think about it for a second. How many hundreds or thousands of dollars have you spent in the past trying to get over a cold or the flu, not to mention on health insurance? Or if you couldn't use insurance, how much did you spend on ridiculous hospital bills that charge you $6 per pill? How many ointments have you bought to get rid of skin problems or aches and pains or to settle a sour stomach? The fact is that the Miracle Cure has been proven again and again for over a century to work. To give you the choice of being a slave to illness, a slave to the industry of medicine interested in profit more than our health, and a slave to suffering, to the freedom to live the way we were designed to live. Free to choose, free to be healthy, free to be rid of disease. We should make a tiny one-time investment of $97 seem like a bargain. But you know what? I want to make this a total easy decision for you. When I'm finished with this market test, I'm going to hold a special sale where I discount the program by a generous 30% and offer it for just $67. But because you're getting it here early, if you act right now, I'll let you have the Miracle Cure plus the Oxygen Diet for just $39.95. All you have to do to get started is click the big, shiny, inviting Add to Cart button that has just appeared below. You'll gain instant access to everything and will start the road to dominant health today. As soon as you click Add to Cart, you'll be able to download the entire program, go through the manual, and start using these simple little tricks and techniques I give you as soon as possible with an ailment you're suffering from, your children, your spouse, and you'll be able to see for yourself the incredible results you'll get with the Miracle Cure. And of course, there's my 100% no questions asked guarantee. So here's how it works. Order today and use the material. If you aren't blown away and if you don't get incredible results, simply email me within so many days for a complete refund. No fine print, no BS. Listen, here's the deal. The way I like to help people is, I don't believe I deserve your money unless I get you results. I take a tremendous amount of pride in this product. It took a long time to put it together. I've talked to a lot of doctors. I've done a lot of research. It was actually life-changing for me, and I've discovered there are simple techniques you can use to turn disease into a thing of the past. I know you're going to get great results with this, which is why I'm willing to give you such a safe, no questions asked guarantee. You can feel completely safe today, knowing that you're protected, and that when you do invest in the Miracle Cure, you will either get results or you'll get your money back. It's that simple. Now, all you have to do to get started, again, is click the big Add to Cart button below, and you'll be able to get the Miracle Cure for the low price of just $39.95. Plus, you'll get the complete Oxygen Diet absolutely free. I'm selling this program now for just $39.95, but only as a market test as I get ready to roll this out wide. I want to help as many people as I can, but I just don't know how long it will be before I am forced to take this down. So really, you've got a really simple choice to make. Option 1 is for you to do nothing. Keep going the way you are now. Keep being frustrated, and you can risk things getting worse because you don't take action right now. Keep going on the internet, trying one thing after another, and just get more and more frustrated. I can tell you from the testimonials you've seen already, and more that I will show you, a disease-free life can be yours. You see, your body wants to be healthy. You just need to know how to open the door for oxygen to bathe your cells and destroy any germ, infection, or bacteria that is making you sick. Option number 2 is you can take what you learned today and try it out yourself. You can take the basic ideas I talked to you about oxygen therapy and what it means to your body and go out and use it for yourself or a loved one. And you might get some decent results, but wouldn't you rather have a sure thing? Wouldn't you rather have a simple system that literally thousands of people around the world have already used and have that in your corner as you try to make this happen? But of course, there's an option number 3. Risk nothing at all today. Grab the Miracle Cure training for just $39.95 today. Devour the material, put it into action, and see how little it takes for you to get that incredible youthful feeling of strength and vitality again. See how easy and inexpensive it is to rid yourself of something you have felt cursed and controlled by. Again, all you have to do to get started is click the big Add to Cart button below. You'll gain instant access to everything. As soon as you hit Add to Cart, you'll be able to get an email where you get the download link. You can download the entire Miracle Cure program, everything I've promised you here right now. You can go through it in just a few minutes from now, and you can get incredible results within a day or two? It won't take you very long to go through the material, but the results will last a lifetime. Everything in this program is focused on giving you exactly what you need in order to get the kind of awesome, wonderful, healthy vitality you've always wanted. And all you have to do to get what you want is click the Add to Cart button below. You will get great results like so many other guys have before you. And if you're worried, of course, you're backed up by the 100% money-back guarantee. Listen, if you're here, it's because you want to get rid of an illness. Maybe it's your illness, or maybe it's someone else's. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be free of illness, and your body wants to be as healthy as it can. It just needs help. Even celebrities like Jenny McCarthy, Dr. Oz, and Montel Williams have promoted the miraculous results of oxygen therapy. But what about everyday regular people like you and me? Here are some of the many stories of miraculous healing with the use of oxygen. Kathy says, "I can't wait to see what happens after I get through the whole regimen. Before I started, I had very, very dry, flaky skin, especially on my torso, and that has all but disappeared. My skin is probably the best it's ever been in my life." Sunny says, "My family is feeling such an awesome general well-being after just a month. I won't write too much because I really believe that you need to discover and study this for yourself. I will quickly list the things that it's healed within myself, husband, and 4 boys. Here we go. Heartburn, eczema, asthma, acne, bronchitis, concentration, and the one that I love the most is my 3-year-old now eats. I've been battling with him ever since his near drowning and being in a coma for a week. It is our belief that all the drugs and toxins pumped into him back then have stunted his growth. He has only ever craved sweet foods. Well, now my baby is eating so much fruit and yogurt that alone is worth more to me than even curing my own asthma. I thank God for giving us this knowledge and will continue the therapy for the rest of our living days. I can't thank you enough. Ruth from Illinois writes, so far my progress has been 1. Swelling in neck, gone. 2. Tightness in chest, I think from infection and sinuses draining into chest while I was asleep, gone. 3. Insomnia, from worrying about my throat closing while asleep, gone. Then there's Vanessa who wrote, my friend who is only 37 who has severe arthritis has been following exactly from the book. She was even unable to open up her own screw-top pop bottle and was taking 8+ pain pills per day and was still in a lot of pain, especially when it changed weather here or rained. She has been pain-free and med-free for going on 2 weeks. She can open up her own pop and can almost make a fist, something she has been unable to do and she does not remember how many years. For me and my husband, it seems like we seem fuller. We all do, and sleep amazingly very deeply. We have an energy that we cannot really explain, and for me, this is the clearest my mind has been in a long time. Sherry wrote, I have relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis and was diagnosed in September 2004, but was told by my neurologist I had to have had MS for over 20+ years back in 2004, so over 28 years now. My balance has improved greatly. I know by the way I am walking now without my cane or my walker that I'm being healed. Let's not forget Frida, who was suffering from leukemia. She wrote, I was a level 3 leukemia when I started using the info in this book, and 1 month later, I'm a level 0. And Dan writes, in just 7 days, the treatment got rid of a cancerous spot on my face. I think in this presentation, I've shown you enough of how effective this material is. If you've watched this far, it shows me that you're interested, and all you have to do is click Add to Cart button below. Go through the rest of the steps to download the Miracle Cure and start going through it tonight. You'll get everything tonight, and you'll be able to find out for yourself if the Miracle Cure is everything so many people are saying it is. I'm personally extremely confident. Why? Because I've seen it work. It has worked for me. It's been wonderful, and it's worked for every single person I've shown this to personally. And the vast majority of folks who buy the Miracle Cure program and put it into effect in their own lives literally do have fantastic results. I want you to have those results as well, and all you have to do is click the Add to Cart button below, download the Miracle Cure program, start going through it, start using it in your own life, and experience those results for yourself. Again, I'm Kevin Richardson. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I can't wait to hear about your success. If you're still watching, I bet you have some questions. Here are the most common ones. What is the oxygen therapies that you refer to? And why don't you ever mention what that substance is on your website? That's a great question. It bugged me that I could not mention it too. You see, if I mention what the natural oxygenating therapies are, where I also report the various cures that it has brought about, we'd be violating FDA regulations, which prohibit anyone from claiming that any therapy, remedy, or substance can treat, cure, or prevent any disease, because supposedly only a drug can legally make such a claim. Also, if I simply mentioned what the natural oxygenating therapies are, I may actually be doing our website visitors a disservice because they might try to obtain it without first reading the book, thereby causing them to use it incorrectly and ultimately yielding no results. The Miracle Cure gives the exact protocol that one needs to follow in order to achieve optimum results safely. But here's what it is not. The natural oxygenating substance is not Miracle Mineral Solution, also called MMS, sodium chlorite, stabilized oxygen, chlorine dioxide, sodium dichloroacetate, DCA, oxygenated water, or water made by expensive ionizers. It is the only therapy that increases oxygen and maximizes the delivery of oxygen from the blood to the cells. And this creates conditions in the body that enable the body to heal itself of virtually any disease. Here's another question. Where can you get this natural oxygenating therapy? Is it available in any country? Here's the answer. There are several oxygen therapies I revealed to you. The ones I focus on the most are, for obvious reasons, the ones you can do on your own and at home. But I also include a list of clinics that are oxygen therapy friendly and also allow for insurance. Because the entire list of illnesses the FDA allows to be treated by a licensed practitioner is limited, I focused on the self-healing methods. No matter what, you will have all the information to use any therapy you want to use in the Miracle Cure. Is it difficult to administer the therapy? What does it entail? It's extremely simple. If you can drink water, breathe air, and walk, you can apply the therapies I show you. How exactly does the Miracle Cure work? Curing disease is just a matter of identifying the cause of disease and getting rid of that cause. The miracle cure does exactly that, gets rid of the cause of disease. Current medical research is focused on the wrong symptoms of disease. What complicates the process of curing disease is that everybody has a different opinion as to what causes it. Here are just a few of the theories that most people mistakenly believe are the cause of disease. Viruses, microbes, germs, and harmful bacteria. Toxins in the food we eat, the air we breathe, and the substances we consume. Genes which make us susceptible to acquiring one disease or another. While all of the above do characterize most diseases, or might be part of the disease, they do not cause disease. If you think about it, we are surrounded by these substances all the time. Why do we get sick only when we do? It's because something allows that germ or bacteria to take over. They're often mistaken as the cause of disease because their presence coincides with the presence of disease. The truth is that the primary physical cause of all diseases is linked in one way or another to oxygen deficiency. Supplying your body with sufficient levels of oxygen, which is the body's most essential element, without which humans die, is the key to preventing and curing diseases. Two-time Nobel Prize-winning Dr. Otto Warburg shocked the world when he revealed that most disease is caused by insufficient levels of oxygen in the body. The natural oxygenating therapies described in the miracle cure are able to heal virtually all diseases because it stimulates the movement of oxygen atoms from the bloodstream to the cells. I find the concept of one cure for all diseases hard to believe. How can any single substance be so far-reaching in curing diseases? I felt exactly the same way, so I know how you feel. To answer that question, I want you to think about all the cures that were like that. The germ theory was once thought of that way. But Louis Pasteur proved that in the presence of germs, infection occurred. People then couldn't believe one thing affects so many different types of infections. The same was true of vitamin C. People couldn't believe vitamin C could alleviate so many different health problems, but now we can buy it in supermarkets. Is the miracle cure available in bookstores? Unfortunately, no. It's not currently available in bookstores. Since there's a possibility that this book could be forced out of circulation by the FDA due to the pressure of the pharmaceutical industry, whose trillion-dollar revenues are threatened by this simple cure, I made it available on this site. Click the Add to Cart button below, download the Miracle Cure program, start going through it, start using it in your own life, and experience those results for yourself.